impact the game at the highest level in our league. We absolutely appreciate all she did for our team last year. However, we made changes to our staff and we'll be making changes to our roster. Those changes impact Kennedy's fit on the team, so we want to give her the best opportunity as a free agent. Wow.
Chennedy Carter's journey with the Chicago Sky ends in scandal as she's fired following her infamous tackle on Caitlin Clark, a move that left fans stunned and critics vocal. Once celebrated for her talent, Carter now faces the fallout of her controversial actions. Was this the reckoning everyone saw coming, or is karma playing a fast one on her?
She turned to you a little bit after the fever
I
score.
didn't answer no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
That's enough.
They don't want her back. They don't want her back. And considering their lack of scoring and shot creation and what she did last year and her talent, for them to just not want her back and to let her walk is a big statement.
See, Chennedy Carter's reign with the Chicago Sky has come to an end. And for many, it feels like justice served. The franchise officially announced her release, a decision that has sparked widespread reactions across the WNBA community.
There's still a bunch of buzz around that chest check that Caitlin Clark got from Sky forward Chennedy Carter. It was ruled a flagrant 1 foul after the game by the league. Bottom line, Indiana got a 1-point win.
According to multiple league sources, players were unhappy with the dynamic created in the locker room last year due to Carter's behavior, which went unchecked by former coach Teresa Witherspoon.
The tipping point for many was an earlier incident in the season that drew the ire of fans and players alike. A blatant and deliberate push on Caitlin Clark, one of the league's rising stars. Now, as the dust settles, the debate continues. Was this the inevitable outcome of Carter's controversial behavior? Or could her time in Chicago have ended differently?
Caitlin Clark's treatment by other players on the court is just getting to be egregious. Because as we saw Chennedy Carter, she hip-checked Caitlin Clark from behind, at the same time calling her the B word. You could see Angel Reese over on the sideline cheering.
The pivotal moment came during an emotionally charged game between the Chicago Sky and the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark, known for her sharp basketball IQ and fearless approach, was carving up the defense with her usual precision. As tensions escalated, Carter delivered what many viewed as a deliberate and unsportsmanlike shove to Clark, sending her to the floor.
Teammates to the games, even just when we were trying to make the playoffs. It was a hard fight. Y'all know I went down. I had a foot injury, which cost a lot of games at the end of the season. We ended up losing to Washington. I didn't play. We lost to Indiana. I didn't play that game. I missed a couple of games to where, maybe if we had our whole lineup, we could have had a better outcome. But as far as that, there's a lot of just narratives being spent. And from my standpoint, I had a great time. And this was one of the best seasons that I ever had in my career. And I'm not going to allow anybody to downplay it like it went bad, because it didn't go bad. It was the best season that I've had in my life. Shooting-wise, playing-wise, living-wise. It was a great experience for me personally.
Fans of the Fever, Clark supporters, and even neutral observers condemned the act, calling it unsportsmanlike and beneath the standards of professional basketball. Carter's reputation took a serious hit, and the incident overshadowed the rest of the game, drawing attention to the Sky's handling of the situation. Initially, the Chicago Sky attempted to downplay the severity of the incident. There was no immediate suspension or public reprimand for Carter, a decision that raised eyebrows. Critics accused the organization of prioritizing a star player over integrity and fairness, and the lack of action fueled speculation about internal discord within the team.
See how dramatic she is?
Ugh, I know.
What is everyone's problem with me? I brought more eyes to this league than anyone in history. We have charter flights now. You think it's a coincidence that started as soon as I got here? I am literally going to be the reason you guys make more money throughout your careers. Yeah, we know. And we're incredibly jealous of that fact. Yeah, we wanted to be the ones to bring this league to new heights, so we don't like that someone else is doing it.
However, the fallout was unavoidable. WNBA officials issued a fine and a 1-game suspension, but for many, it felt like a slap on the wrist. Indiana Fever fans, in particular, were vocal about their dissatisfaction, rallying around Clark, whose resilience and sportsmanship in the aftermath won her even more admirers. Carter's release didn't happen overnight, but the writing was on the wall. Whether it was clashes with teammates or questionable plays, her time in Chicago was riddled with controversy. For fans of the Indiana Fever, Carter's release feels like poetic justice. Caitlin Clark has become a fan favorite, not just for her extraordinary skills, but for her grace under pressure and resilience in the face of adversity. Seeing Carter finally face the consequences of her actions offers a sense of closure for those who felt Clark's safety and dignity were compromised that night. Clark, for her part, has remained characteristically composed. In interviews following the incident, she avoided inflammatory statements, choosing instead to focus on the game and her team's goals. This level-headedness has only further endeared her to fans and solidified her role as a future face of the WNBA.
We saw the play in the third quarter where Carter kind of decked you. How do you respond to that and stay within yourself?
I feel like I'm just at the point where you accept it and don't retaliate. Like, just let them hit you, be what it is. Don't let it get inside your head and know it's coming. I think at this point, I know I'm going to take a couple hard shots a game. It is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
For the Chicago Sky, Carter's release signals a turning point. The organization is clearly prioritizing a culture of accountability and teamwork, and Carter's dismissal sends a strong message. In their official statement, the Sky emphasized their commitment to building a cohesive team dynamic, hinting that Carter's presence had disrupted that vision. This decision may also reflect the influence of head coach and management. The Sky are navigating a period of transition, and releasing Carter could be part of a broader effort to rebuild the team's identity. While her departure leaves a gap in talent, it opens the door for players who embody the values the organization wants to promote. Carter's future in the WNBA is now uncertain. Despite her talent, her reputation has taken a significant hit. Teams may be hesitant to take a chance on a player whose conduct has raised so many red flags. To revive her career, Carter will need to undergo a serious image makeover, demonstrating growth, maturity, and a willingness to take responsibility for her actions. Her potential return to the league will depend not only on her performance, but on her ability to rebuild trust with teammates, coaches, and fans. Whether she can do so remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: her next opportunity, if it comes, will be her last chance to prove she belongs in the WNBA.
So, Ken Swift posted this, right? He's got a theory. So now that Chicago Sky have decided to let their leading scorer, Chennedy Carter, go for virtually nothing in return, when are they going to find out the real reason why? ? I've long suspected that at least one of the absences that Carter had was not due to illness, but instead she was jealous because of the narrative that was going around that Angel was the most valuable person on the team. It's just a suspicion, but would go a long way to explain what happened. She's too good to have given up on her for nothing. Thoughts?
The WNBA, like all professional sports leagues, thrives on competition and passion. However, incidents like Carter's push on Clark serve as a reminder that there's a fine line between intensity and unsportsmanlike behavior. The league has worked hard to promote respect, integrity, and inclusivity, and actions that undermine those values can't be ignored. For the Chicago Sky, this decision is a step in the right direction, reinforcing the idea that no player is above the team or the sport. For the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark, it's a victory that goes beyond the scoreboard, a validation of sportsmanship and resilience in the face of adversity. Chennedy Carter's 2023 WNBA season will not be remembered for her highlights on the court, but for the glaring absence of accountability off it. Throughout the season, Carter consistently refused to address questions about Caitlin Clark, a player whose influence on the league has transcended basketball. This dismissive approach not only alienated fans and teammates, but also revealed a troubling disregard for the positive impact Clark has had on the WNBA and its players, including Carter herself.
I still think she's got a big target on her back. I think players are definitely playing a little bit more aggressively with her, but this is basketball. It is professional sports. I think she's handled it gracefully. She is a generational talent. We know what time it is with Miss Caitlin Clark. Leading the WNBA in points per game, averaging 16 points per game, 5 boards and 6 assists. So, I love what she's doing as a rookie.
Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA marked a turning point for the league. Known for her electrifying style of play, her ability to connect with fans, and her undeniable star power, Clark has single-handedly elevated the visibility of women's basketball. Her presence has drawn in new audiences, inspired young athletes, and opened the door for significant investments in the league. One such development is the introduction of private jet travel for WNBA teams. Historically, players endured grueling commercial travel schedules, which affected their recovery and performance. Thanks to increased sponsorships and fan engagement, fueled in no small part by the star power of players like Clark, the league took a major step forward by providing more luxurious travel accommodations. This improvement benefits every player, including Carter, yet she seemed oblivious to the contributions that made it possible.
To call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark? I mean, which one is it? Which one is it?
I think I'll just be the female version of Steph Curry. Great.
Despite Clark's undeniable role in growing the WNBA, Carter remained steadfast in her refusal to acknowledge her rival. When asked about Clark in post-game interviews, Carter either deflected the questions or ignored them entirely. What could have been an opportunity to demonstrate sportsmanship and gratitude instead became a recurring display of indifference. This attitude didn't go unnoticed. Fans began to question Carter's maturity, wondering why she couldn't offer even a modicum of respect to a fellow player who had done so much for the league. To many, her silence spoke volumes, not just about her feelings toward Clark, but about her lack of awareness regarding the bigger picture.
Bill, we know for a fact 100% they're not going to resign him, and it was confirmed today. And we kind of know why she's not coming back, according to reports. Now, according to multiple league sources, players were unhappy with the dynamic created in the locker room last year due to Chennedy Carter's behavior.
For the Sky, the decision to release Carter signals a desire to rebuild a cohesive and disciplined team culture. However, the timing couldn't be worse. With the new season looming, the team now finds itself in disarray. With Carter gone, the Sky's roster looks thin, both in terms of talent and chemistry. The team faces an uphill battle to find a replacement who can contribute both on the court and in the locker room. Reese now carries the weight of the team's hopes on her shoulders. While the Sky scramble to pick up the pieces, Caitlin Clark is gearing up for what promises to be another stellar season. Clark's ability to rise above the drama that defined her encounters with Carter has only enhanced her reputation. After enduring Carter's dismissive attitude and physical aggression, Clark chose to focus on her game rather than engage in public feuds. Her professionalism won her widespread admiration, and she now enters the new season with a clear head and a bright future. Clark's impact extends far beyond her on-court performance. She has become a symbol of what the WNBA represents: talent, resilience, and the power to inspire. Her influence has helped elevate the league's profile, attracting new fans and generating increased investment. With private jet travel now a reality for WNBA teams, a development spurred in part by Clark's growing popularity, players across the league, including Carter, have benefited from her contributions. To revive her career, Carter will need to undergo a significant transformation, both on and off the court. Clark, on the other hand, continues to ascend. Her dedication to her craft, combined with her ability to connect with fans and teammates, has made her one of the league's most marketable stars. As she prepares for the new season, there's little doubt that she'll be stepping onto the court with confidence, and perhaps a big smile.
Caitlin Clark is revolutionary in the attention she has brought to the sport, the eyeballs she has brought to the sport, and the way she has risen to the occasion every time the spotlight's been on her.
While Carter's antics could have derailed a lesser player, Clark used the experience as motivation to elevate her game and further solidify her place in the WNBA's elite. For the Chicago Sky, Carter's departure represents both a setback and an opportunity. Losing a player of her caliber is never easy, but it also allows the team to reset and focus on building a roster that values teamwork and professionalism. Angel Reese will be central to this rebuilding effort. Known for her dynamic scoring and relentless energy, Reese has the potential to become the new face of the franchise. However, she'll need support from her teammates and the front office to make that vision a reality. The Sky's ability to surround Reese with the right players and create a positive team environment will determine whether they can bounce back from this tumultuous offseason.
We have some drama going on with the Chicago Sky. I'm not sure this is surprising to anybody. And this time it's involving Chennedy Carter. Now, you guys know I'm not the biggest Chennedy Carter fan, but the one thing that I can acknowledge, she is pure offense, no doubt about it, and was a spark plug for that Chicago Sky team. And if you're a Chicago Sky fan, you sit back and I think to myself, man, the combination of Chennedy Carter and Camila Cardoso is going to be lethal this season. Except it's not. The Chicago Sky are they're letting Chennedy Carter go. All right?
The Carter-Clark saga serves as a cautionary tale for the WNBA. While talent is essential, it's not enough to guarantee success. Players must also demonstrate respect, accountability, and a commitment to the league's values. Clark embodies these qualities, making her a role model for current and future players. Carter's story, meanwhile, is a reminder of the consequences of failing to uphold those standards. Her actions not only hurt her own career, but also created unnecessary distractions for her team and the league as a whole. As the WNBA prepares for another exciting season, the narratives surrounding Chennedy Carter, Angel Reese, and Caitlin Clark will undoubtedly be among the most compelling. Meanwhile, Clark stands poised to lead the league into its next era, her influence extending far beyond the court. With her skill, poise, and leadership, she represents the best of what the WNBA has to offer, a stark contrast to the drama that defined Carter's time in Chicago. For fans, players, and the league as a whole, the message is clear. Respect and professionalism are just as important as talent when it comes to building a legacy. And as Caitlin Clark's star continues to rise, her example will shine as a beacon for years to come. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.